All right, let's jump right into this. Today, we're taking a look at a tool that is making some serious waves for anybody who loves creating that old-school, retro-style art. I mean, if you've ever wished you had a shortcut to get that classic 8-bit or 16-bit look, you are definitely in the right place.
I mean, seriously, who doesn't? There's just something magical about pixel art. You know, the blocky characters, the limited color palettes. It's just pure nostalgia. It's a whole aesthetic that basically defined an entire generation of gaming and art. But there's the catch, right? As much as we all love the final product, the actual process can be so incredibly tedious. I mean, placing every single pixel by hand, that takes a level of patience that, let's be honest, not all of us really have. And that really gets to the heart of what traditional pixel art is all about. It's a grind. It really is. It's a discipline that takes an incredible amount of focus, attention to detail, and a whole lot of time. Just think about it. Every single amazing piece of pixel art you've ever admired was probably built exactly this way. It's an art form that's literally born from painstaking effort, where every single dot is a very deliberate choice. It's beautiful for sure, but wow, it is a massive time commitment.
So that leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it? What if you could bypass a lot of that repetitive work? What if you could get that authentic, pixel-perfect look, but in just a fraction of the time? It would free you up to focus on the actual creative stuff.
Well, that is exactly the promise of the tool we're going to explore today. And you should think of it less as a replacement for your own skill and more like a super-powered assistant for your art. So, this piece of software is called PixageFX, and its entire purpose is to work alongside you to streamline all the most time-consuming parts of creating pixel art so you can get to the fun part faster. Okay, so let's get into the core of this because this is where things get really, really cool. At its heart, PixageFX has a feature that, honestly, it almost feels like cheating, but in the best way possible.
The key phrase there is advanced AI. Now, this isn't just some simple filter that you slap on top of an image. Nope. The software uses artificial intelligence to genuinely interpret the picture. And that's why I can get much more consistent results on really tricky things like faces or clean geometric lines.
And the practical result of that? Well, you can take literally any photograph, a portrait, a landscape, you name it, and the AI will generate a really high-quality pixel art version almost instantly. This becomes your new starting point.
But just converting images, well, that's only the tip of the iceberg. PixageFX is absolutely packed with features that go way beyond simple pixelation. This thing is basically a full creative suite.
So, first up, it can actually work in reverse. Imagine you've created the perfect little pixel art character. This tool lets you convert it into a clean, scalable vector image. That means you could use it for a tiny icon or blow it up for a giant poster, and it'll stay perfectly crisp. Now here's a wild one. It has a 3D maker effect. This tool can actually take a flat 2D image and give it this really cool simulated 3D look. It's a super unique effect that can add a ton of depth to your artwork.
And it's not just for static images either. You can take video clips or even existing GIFs, run them through the pixelation engine, and export brand new retro-style animations. I mean, imagine creating all your game sprites or some killer social media content this way.
And this really shows you just how deep the tool goes. It gives you total control over that retro aesthetic. You can create your own bitmap fonts, apply old-school CRT screen effects. It can even generate a classic color palette from your image or add different dithering modes to get that perfectly authentic look. It really is a whole toolbox in one. So, okay, the feature list is impressive, for sure. But what's it actually like to use this in a real project? We found a great review from a creator that I think breaks it down perfectly. This right here is such a key insight. See, the creator doesn't use PixageFX to replace their other tools, but to make their workflow better. They use it for all the heavy lifting, that initial conversion, and then they jump into a dedicated editor, like Sprite, for all the final detailed refinements. So, breaking that down, what did we learn? First, it's a massive time saver. That's huge. Second, it slots perfectly into a hybrid workflow so it plays nice with other professional tools. And third, they mentioned having a great experience with customer support, which is always a really big plus. So, with all that in mind, let's get into the really practical details. Is PixageFX the right addition to your creative toolbox? Well, there are two versions available. You've got the base version, Pixel Art, which is about 10,500 South Korean won, and then there's the more feature-packed studio version, and that one is 31,000 won.
And you should know, for now, it's a Windows-only application. You can find both versions right on the Steam store, which makes it super easy to purchase and install.
So who should really be paying attention here? Well, indie game developers looking to speed up making assets, for sure. Digital artists who want to explore a new style. Creative hobbyists who just want to have some fun with pixel art. And definitely any designers out there who need to create retro-style graphics on a tight deadline.
Ultimately, that's what this tool is all about. It's not here to replace skill. It's here to remove the tedious barriers. It saves you countless hours, and it acts as a gateway, making a really complex art form way more accessible to everyone.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? With the most time-consuming part of the whole process basically handled for you, what incredible ideas could you bring to life? What masterpiece is just sitting there in your head that's now maybe just one click away from becoming a reality?